Treat your employee like crap? Okay, I'll hire her. About 20 years ago, I ran a metal fabrication shop, and our tax situation was an absolute disaster. 3 years of backlogged paperwork and the IRS sending us letters with words like audit and penalties in bold. We needed a bookkeeper badly. I was doing an estimate for a factory expansion 100 miles away when I heard screaming from the back office. The owner was tearing into his bookkeeper over a computer glitch that clearly wasn't her fault. He called her incompetent right there in front of me. She was maybe 25 and just stood there while her face turned red. We walked out to the job site and this guy starts bragging about his management style. Said she only had a community college degree, so he never gave her raises or benefits to keep her hungry. Then he mentioned she was a single mom who couldn't afford to quit. He said this like it was clever. Over the next 2 weeks installing steel beams, I watched her work through lunch every day. She stayed late every night after everyone else left. Once I saw her sitting in her car in the parking lot just crying before driving home. My girlfriend asked how the job was going and I told her about the bookkeeper situation. She said we should hire her since we desperately needed someone. I was worried about losing a customer, but my girlfriend pointed out he was garbage anyway. My girlfriend came to the site with me and sat with the girl during lunch. Handed her our business card and said we were looking for someone with her exact skills. The girl's hands actually shook when she took the card. She called us 2 days later. Said she'd worked there 5 years with 0 raises and no benefits. Her boss had destroyed job references for people who left before, and she'd watched it happen. She was completely stuck, but willing to take the risk. We hired her on the spot. My girlfriend found her a cheap rental near our shop and she started 3 weeks later. Within 2 months, she cleared our entire 3-year backlog. Everything got current. She even negotiated our IRS penalties down from $14,000 to less than $2,000. I didn't know that was something you could do. She solved problems in hours that had been killing me for years. Turned out having someone who actually understood taxes and compliance made a difference. She met her husband at a company barbecue we threw. They got married by our lake. Built a house 10 minutes from the shop. Had 2 kids. She ran our office for 25 years and we never had another tax problem. My wife and her became close friends since they both came from city backgrounds. At her retirement party last month, she started crying and said we'd given her everything. I was confused because she'd literally saved our company from financial ruin. Then she got this weird little smile. Said she heard her old boss lost his company about 18 months after she left. Tax investigations, labor violations, the whole thing. New owners had to take over. I said that was crazy timing. She shrugged and said, maybe not that crazy. Turns out whenever she dealt with state or federal agencies about our old tax mess, she would casually mention her previous employer. Nothing direct. Just things like, oh, my last boss handled payroll this way, or I really hope I didn't file this wrong because my old boss used to do it differently and he'd be furious if he knew. She knew every single shady thing he did because she'd kept his books for 5 years. She knew which deductions were fake, which employee payments were under the table, which safety violations he ignored. She knew everything, and she just dropped little breadcrumbs during casual conversations with investigators. They'd ask questions about our filing methods and she'd answer honestly, then add some innocent comment about how her previous employer did things. The investigators would write it down and move on. 6 months later, her old boss got hit with simultaneous audits from 4 different agencies. The company collapsed in under 2 years. She did it so smoothly nobody could prove she reported anything. She just asked innocent questions and made innocent observations while investigators took notes.